scraping big stuff.
So here we've got, it looks like a bit like an insulator. It's porcelain and it's unglazed at the bottom and glazed at the top and you put a cork in here and there's a canvas water bottle that sits underneath here. So this is how you kept your water cool because the water evaporates out of the canvas and you've got nice cool water. So that's what that is. Yeah, oh, look at this. This is a marble over marble bottle. The way I could tell, it's got no colouring in it, but also the surface texture of it's very rough, and the torpid Chillagoe marble bottles have all got faulty marbles in them. This is a good example of the erosion on it.
So we've got some wax vesta boxes over here. Can you make out any names on them?
I think this is Arbel, London, established 1834.
Yep. Quite a common one.
Here, I think it's the same.
Okay. No worries. So we got some slates here, some
parts of the slate. Yep.
Slates.
This is a spring out of a car, an early car. There's
An early Ford.
Yep. There's horseshoe nails here. That's a horseshoe nail with the shape of it.
Yep.
There's parts of a stove. That's a hinge off a stove door. Lots of stove parts here. Quite a few bits there, pieces there.
You can see there.
Lots of fish tins.
So we've got a meat grinder here next to a piece of coke.
Check this out. Islamic pattern. Probably from Abdul Wade.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
What have we got?
A bit of a clock and the buffer from a bed. This is to stop a hospital bed bumping against walls and chipping the paint.
Excellent.
Now over here we've got some rubbish that's been bulldozed off this block of land. The old bits of tram line here is light gauge, and that was the old red cap tramway. These bits of wood here that they've used for fence posts are split pieces of ironwood, which were the old sleepers from that red cap tramway as well. So here you've got a few artefacts that were repurposed. The sleepers used for fence posts, and the actual railway line was used as the top rail on the fence. And now it's all been bulldozed up in a big pile, but quite interesting. Yeah, come on.
Yep. What have we got?
So we saw the petrol cap before of the old Chev. Around here where they had this old water tank base here, against it we've got a Chev sump. If you look at it closely, with your camera, they've actually done a beautiful solder job themselves, a hand soldering job to repair the sump. Put an extra big drain plug in the bottom, and see the bashes and dints in it. Driving across very rough country.
Hey, what are you doing, Tommy?
And yeah, it's going there. Yeah, this is a handle of a pint pot. But if you look on the ground here, lots of these nails have got large heads on them, and they're actually box nails. So everything came in boxes, and when you finished with the boxes, you broke them up and used them on the fire, or they went into a pile, and you find thousands of nails everywhere, and so everything was held together by nails. So that's why when you go in the bush here, you find nails everywhere. By the way, this is the horseshoe nail, so it gives us the clue that they had horses here as well. It was an axe. The axe was worn out, tapered down, worn out from overuse. Then when they used it for splitting out pieces of timber with a wedge. So you can see how it's been impacted by hammers, broken in like that. So you got a piece of wood on, this is a piece of ironwood. They would have driven the wedge in and split it. So this is split ironwood. So when they were making sleepers or fence posts, they drove that in as a wedge. It's a cap out of a hurricane lamp. Just made of pressed tin.
So can you tell us about why this has all been pushed together and what you know about it?
Well, I think back in the 1980s or 1990s, the Mareeba Shire Council decided they might make some money, and they sold a few blocks of land around the whole of the Shire for back rates. And this block here, which you can look over here, this block of land came up for sale, and an old bloke bought it. Then he got somebody with a machine, I think a dozer, and they pushed all the rubbish this way to the south, and they also did a push up to the north. and cleared the block of all the sheets of iron and tins and boxes and stuff. But what it basically did is just crushed everything up, and so we got these rills of stuff. And at the back near the bluffs, there's still stuff in situ, but basically he cleared this block flat, and I think he built a little shack there. And I don't think he was here for very long, and he probably died. He was a really old bloke.
And what do you know about people camping up on the bluffs?
Camping on the bluffs?
Or do they camp up there in hot weather?
They sometimes did in the caves. Yes, it's
Yeah.
nice and cool in there. But there was, remember, these people had chickens. You can see by a lot of the evidence they had chicken coops. But they also had goats. And the goats climbed all over the bluffs and had a good time here too.
But there's lots of artifacts up in the bluffs. You know.
Yeah, a lot of rubbish was thrown in the caves. But yeah, I've cut the tin and bottles and tins and rubbish like that in the caves.
You can see lots of bottles in the caves and that. So you think that's just rubbish? They weren't drinking it up there?
Oh, look, it's hard to know, but I think they didn't have an organised rubbish dump system here, so they had to deal with their own rubbish. So the best thing to do is throw it in an area that you're not using.